Hey there, football fans. Here we are, week number 7 of Nick's Who Gives a Crap football update, aka Nick by the Buffalo. So this week, I've got something good in store for you. Today, I'm wearing my Patrick Mahomes jersey, showing my support for Patrick tonight. He's playing Thursday night football against the Denver Broncos. And really, a really big week for the Kansas City Chiefs to come out and Patrick Mahomes to come out and show that they can take on a division opponent and win it. Needs to happen tonight. Need to go into Mile High and take that one. I think Patrick will. I think the Chiefs will step up and get this one back on the winning track. So today, though, I've got some rants for you. A very good, exciting rant that I've had planned since Sunday. As you know, being a huge Dallas Cowboy fan, I've been very mad about the last 3 weeks and how it's turned out. So here's my rant for today. This is going to be mainly what I talk about 2 topics as they pertain to the Dallas Cowboys. And the first one's going to be my big rant about what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Why are they losing? Here's what's going on with the Dallas Cowboys. Our head coach, it's Jason Garrett. You know, a lot of people have talked about who's to blame the last several weeks. It's really coming kind of clear that it's Jason Garrett. And here's the reason I say it's Jason Garrett. And remember, I had a video on here before that was explaining to you why I thought Jason Garrett could pull off a good win this season and get us deep in the playoffs and give you his chances of keeping his job. Well, here's what's going to happen, because I really don't see this team going to the Super Bowl at all. I don't see this team going to the NFC Championship this season. So I think you're going to see the end of the road for Jason Garrett. The debate's only going to be, when is it going to happen? Would Jerry do it in the middle of the season? Is Jerry going to do it at the end of the season? And here's why I think there is. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys on that game on Sunday, they have had zero life to them. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys for the last 3 weeks, zero life that they've had on this team. They've gone into games. Here, I'm going to get heated up. Just going to let you know. They've gone into games and they've gotten kicked in the teeth. The teams have come in here and whipped their butts. The Dallas Cowboys have not been prepared to play. Teams take on the life of their coach. Teams take on the persona of their coach. Their attitude about the game, it mirrors what their coach is. Bill Belichick comes into games prepared, focused, and intense to win the game. That's how his teams come in to win the game. Other coaches have been that same way. You come into the game with that attitude. That's now you look at Jason Garrett, very businesslike, very even-keeled, positive. Well, that's how this team plays. Just businesslike, even-keeled. There's no emotion. Here's the problem. When you're with the Dallas Cowboys and you're playing a game and you're a Dallas Cowboy team. Everybody in the NFL is coming in to kick your butt. They're coming in to kick you in the mouth. That's what they're coming to do, because you're the Dallas Cowboys and you're America's team. So what happens is, if you have a coach that doesn't get that team having an attitude about them, the reason the Dallas Cowboys won Super Bowls under Jimmy Johnson and to some extent Barry Switzer is because those teams had attitudes that they took from their head coach. Jimmy Johnson was a jerk, but Jimmy Johnson would kick your butt. You come in there and you mouth off, Jimmy's going to put it right back in your face. And that's what those Dallas Cowboys did. They had pride about them. They didn't allow you to come into their house and kick them in the mouth. That's not what happened. It's not what's happened for the last 10 years under Jason Garrett. People have come in and whipped our butts, and they let it happen. So in that game a few weeks ago against the New Orleans Saints, we went in to New Orleans, got our just butts handed to us by a team that was ready to go. We moped around and we didn't take care of business. Then you go to the Green Bay Packers game in Jerry's Stadium, and you have Aaron Rodgers, who's come in here well noted as saying it's his house, it's where he likes to play. That team came in there like they were playing a home game in Dallas. And then they came in here and whipped our butts again. And then on top of that, you take Aaron Jones running all over the Dallas Cowboys, waving to players as he goes into the end zone. You wave at a player on your way in the end zone, that means you should get your head taken off the next play. That's how a team responds and reacts to that. No, they didn't. They just allowed themselves to get punched and punched and punched again. Just sad sacks is what they were looking like. And you go into that Jets game, it's the same thing. The Jets are disrespecting you left and right, and you just are taking it over and over and over again. And you look, and this team's given up on Coach Garrett. They're walking past him. It's been shown on all the news outlets, walking past him, not even giving him the high five and the claps that the clapper's known for. So this team's over with him. We need a guy with an edge and an attitude to take over the Dallas Cowboys. And what I was super excited to see about this week was Doug Peterson, the head coach of the Eagles. It's already setting up for the game this week. He's already gone out and said they guarantee they're going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. Didn't use the words guarantee. He kind of waffled on it a little bit, but he made it pretty clear he's confident they're going to come in and beat the Dallas Cowboys. They're punking you, Jason. Have an attitude. Get mad about it. Be ready to play this game. Have an attitude and come in ready to go. They're going to come in and ready to kick your butt is what they're coming in to do. And if I want to see you guys respond, then you ought to be responding. But that's not what's going to happen. The Eagles are going to come in and beat the Dallas Cowboys because the Eagles are going to come in wanting to beat the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are just going to be business as usual, nothing different. So this is where I'm saying we're going to lose this week. 4 weeks in a row, we're going to have lost a game. And I was excited to see Doug Peterson run his mouth. I can't stand that big-headed jerk. He runs his mouth, but you know what? The Eagles back it up. And that's what I'm talking about. It's time for a Cowboys to make a change there, which brings me to my next topic. So one of my favorite shows I like to watch 2 shows on FS1, 2 shows I'm a huge fan of. Colin Cowherd hosts The Herd during the middle of the day. I love that show. I see eye to eye with Colin Cowherd on a lot of topics. The next show is Speak for Yourself, hosted by Jason Whitlock and Marcellus Wiley. I love these shows. I relate to a lot of what they're talking about. I think they really speak truths in a lot of what they talk about in these shows. But I'm going to take exception to something that I've heard Colin Cowherd say many times over the last couple of months. And that is that he thinks Jerry already knows who his next head coach is of the Dallas Cowboys. And he thinks it's Lincoln Riley. And I posted about a month ago that Lincoln Riley will never be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. I 150% agree that that's never going to happen. And here's the reason. It has nothing to do with Lincoln Riley's ability to coach. This is the reason why. You're going to find fewer people that are going to know more about Jerry Jones than I do. Mainly because for 20 years plus, it's almost been 25 years now, 30 years. It's almost been 30 years now. Anyway, but almost 30 years now, I have been Jerry's biggest fan. I continue to be Jerry's biggest fan. One of the few people that'll come out and say that. Most people don't. I went to the Hall of Fame and watched Jerry get inducted. That's how big of a fan I am. I love Jerry Jones. I know he has some things about him that are quirky. I know he has some things that people don't like. But I know Jerry Jones, and I know what his hints are, and I know how he thinks. And that's the reason why Lincoln Riley will not be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. However, I do think this is the end of the road for Jason Garrett. I'm reading into Jerry's actions and words, the fact that he doesn't have a contract extension. He's leaving the door open. And if Jason Garrett can get to the NFC Championship game this year, at least, or the Super Bowl, then Jason will be back, as I mentioned before. But that's not going to happen. And I think Jerry knows that now. Jerry understands that. So Jerry's already going to be in the process of thinking about who his next head man is. I really only see 4 replacements for Jason Garrett that I see Jerry Jones going after. And I'm going to mention these in order of how I think that would happen on Jerry's priority list. The first one being most far-fetched of the 4, and that's Kellen Moore, the up-and-coming offensive coordinator. I don't think we've seen enough about Kellen Moore, though, to be able to give him the head coaching job. I really would be most scared of this being the hire. I'd much rather have Lincoln Riley than Kellen Moore. However, Jerry hires guys that have passed with the Dallas Cowboys. That's why he wouldn't hire Lincoln Riley. It has nothing to do with Lincoln Riley's coaching ability. Lincoln Riley has proven to be able to coach quarterbacks and coach offenses. He hires guys with history with the Dallas Cowboys. So Kellen Moore is the current offensive coordinator. The trend in the NFL is to hire the up-and-coming hot young minds and offenses. That's what they've done. I really think that would be an awful hire, but that would be one I think he's going to consider. After that, I'm going to throw a curveball to you guys and give you a name that you're going to be like, excuse me, Bob Stoops. I think Bob Stoops, this would be his opportunity to be coach of the Dallas Cowboys. You're going to say, well, he doesn't have a history with Jerry Jones, so that already blows your theory out of the water. However, let me give you an example. Barry Switzer was a longtime friend of Jerry Jones, but he was a coaching legend that already quit and retired from the college levels. That's where I could see Bob Stoops doing. Bob Stoops, the connection I see there is that if you don't know, he's coaching the XFL team in Dallas this year, the Dallas Renegades. I think there's something to that. He's going to be right there in the backyard of Jerry Jones this summer. And Bob Stoops said that reason he's coaching this year is because he had a fire to get back into coaching. He doesn't have a fire to get back into the XFL and coaching. He has a fire to coach more than that. I think Bob's ready to make a run to the NFL if he can get it. And I see the Dallas Cowboys being a logical destination for Bob Stoops. I still don't think that's one of the front-running people for that candidates for that position. I have 2 guys that I think are most likely going to be the replacements. The first one being Chris Richard, our co-defensive coordinator, currently with the Dallas Cowboys, fits that MO with Jerry Jones, that he hires either people that he has had previous relations with as far as player coaching with when he was in Arkansas, or guys that are currently in the organization, currently acting on the roster or on the coaching staff. Chris Richard, tons of attitude, tons of fire, very respected within our team currently. I could see him being a guy that we could move forward with, get this defense fired up, get us with an attitude to play. So Chris Richard's a guy I'm really excited about. But here's the number one candidate that I think that Jerry Jones wants to hire for the Dallas Cowboys. Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton is your number one candidate in the mind of Jerry Jones. And here's why. Sean Payton used to be an assistant on the Dallas Cowboys under Bill Parcells. The Cowboys loved Sean Payton. Jerry Jones loved Sean Payton. He talks about Sean Payton even to this day. After that game, all he did was give tons of praise to Sean Payton for his preparation going into that game, how well coached the Saints are. Hello, he's giving you the answer right there. Jerry's telling you what he thinks about this guy. He will open up his checkbook for Sean Payton in my eyes. He will take whatever, if he feels like this is the team that he can win a Super Bowl with, and all that is missing is the front man that'll get us there. There's nothing that would keep Jerry Jones from pushing full force to bring in Sean Payton. Sean Payton just signed a contract extension with the Saints because I believe the Saints ownership knows that Jerry Jones is over here in the weeds. They know that Jason Garrett is a lame duck coach, so they're trying to protect their guy. However, those contracts for coaches, everybody knows those are they're not that much of a stick to. They're not going to make sure that your coach is there. It will cost Jerry a big amount of money, and I see him coming after Sean Payton heavily. Now, will Sean Payton take the job? I'm not sure. I think Sean Payton would have interest in coming back to Dallas. You got a good roster. He's got interest. I mean, he's got a pass there. The money, I think, will be all about right in his face what Jerry Jones is wanting him to make coming into our team. However, is he loyal to the Benson's family that owns the Saints? Is he loyal to Drew Brees at the end of his career? Is he loyal to the city of New Orleans? I think he might be. If that's the case, Sean Payton's not coming. But I rest assured Jerry's going to make a push there. Then if they don't get him, I think that's where you got Chris Richard as our next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. So that's my rant for today. I'm going to try to cut this a little bit shorter than I had the last couple of weeks. I did want to say I want to thank you guys for continuing to tune in and let me know what your thoughts are. The views went down last week a little bit, so I want to know why. If you think these videos are getting too long, I'll start cutting them a little bit shorter. That's what I'm going to try to do today. But just want to thank you again for taking the time to watch the video. If you like what you see, please give me the thumbs up. If you don't like, you think I'm full of crap, give me that thumbs down. Put your comments, click like and subscribe. Click subscribe if you'd like to. I'm sorry I've gotten into this rant today, so my brain's all wacky. But I want to thank you very much, and I hope you have a blessed football weekend. Take care.